Hi, talk to me about your week.
Okay, so I had a hard week in this past week. I I got depressed. I didn't eat a lot. I didn't sleep. Also, I cried a lot, and my son was in my house, so I think that also made me feel kind of bad. And as I told you, I didn't eat. I was up all night, and that's why I decided to come here today.
Okay, so what you're telling me is that you were depressed, you couldn't eat, and you didn't sleep that well. Also, that your son wasn't at your house, so that kept you up too. Talk to me about the feelings of being depressed.
Okay, I think that there's a lot of things going on in my life, and right now I haven't felt this way in a lot of time, but I think that was pretty hard this lately this week, and the feelings that I had was pretty sad. It was a very deep sadness that I had. I was feeling no hope. Um, I was feeling kind of anxious because I had a lot of thoughts.
Anxious?
Yes, anxious because I was feeling kind of worried and I didn't know why specifically, and my hands were wet. I couldn't breathe pretty good, and I think that um, influenced and that I couldn't sleep. I was thinking in a lot of things too, and that made me feel sad again. So I think that the main emotion or feeling that I had was sadness that time. I wasn't feeling angry or nothing but sad or disappointed.
Okay.
Maybe.
Since when have you felt this way?
Well, I'm actually getting divorced, so I think that maybe for a month, but it wasn't that strong feeling of the last week that I couldn't, as I told you, like get up and
So that's what you mean by strong feelings, right? You
yes.
couldn't get up, you couldn't eat, you're practically all the time crying.
Yeah.
Okay. Previously to this phase in your life, have you ever dealt with something like this?
Mm, well, yes, because as I told you, I'm getting divorced. I had a pretty bad marriage when I was married, and at the beginning of the fight that we had, my husband cheated on me, and so I spent shorter periods being sad, and I would say depressed too. But right now, there's an accumulation of things that I think that might be happening to me and make me feel this way.
Okay, so previously when things happened, how did you dealt with your emotions? What did you do? Do you usually go to a psychologist?
No, actually, as I told you, my son was pretty small, so I have to be like occupied, and I didn't face it that moment because I have a lot of things to do. So I didn't have like a tragedy, as you would say. I don't remember doing like anything special, but I was very focused on my kid, and now that he's grown up and he has his own life, I don't know what to do.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about your marriage and tell me more about how was your relationship.
Okay, so I met him when I was 25 years old, and we got married after a year of dating, and because I was pregnant, and then we started having to have fights. He was kind of violent too, so I didn't want to get divorced because my kid was pretty small at that time, and I didn't have a job, so I was pretty dependent from him.
Dependent?
Yeah, dependent, like I mean economically, because I
Okay.
didn't have money, and my family lived like not near here. They're from another town, so I was pretty much alone. So I was dependent in that sense. So after a while, things didn't change, and I also stayed with my kid, and some in some periods like the marriage was kind of better, but then again we have fights. I discovered that he was cheating on me, and like I discovered that recently, so that's why I decided to get a divorce.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. So you've had a pretty rough relationship with him. You met him when you were 25, and after a year, you wed this person because you were pregnant, and he was violent. Can you talk to me a little bit more about how violent he was? Was he aggressive with you physically or emotionally?
Yeah, I think that at first he was aggressive in an emotional way,
Okay.
because he always he was pretty jealous too. So, but he always started to tell me that I wasn't enough for him and that kind of things that made me feel kind of bad. But it was mainly these attacks to my security, my confidence. And then when my kid was kind of 2 years old, maybe it was the first time that he hit me, and then he promised that he wouldn't do that anymore, and then it stopped for a while, but then again. And as I told you, I don't have family near, so it was kind of a hard situation. Sometimes some periods it stopped, and then again and again. Yeah.
How is his relationship with your son?
They don't get that well along that well. He's
How old are your son right now?
My son right now is 20 years old.
Okay.
Yes. So right now they get along, like they speak very like superficially, but they do not fight a lot. And as I told him, my kid's making his career and he's making his own life, so he doesn't speak too much, but they don't fight. And when he was little, it was the same, like kind of a superficial relationship with him. And I think that he hasn't been that violent with my son as he was with me.
Okay, and your relationship with your son, how is it?
It's actually pretty good. I mean, he's the only thing that I had, so it was hard for me when he decided to move on with his life and go away.
When did this happen? Previously to your divorce, or?
Yeah, like he told me that he had a scholarship away like 2 weeks before 2 weeks later that I decided to get the divorce process. And yeah, I wasn't that bad because of the divorce, but when I knew that he was going away, I think that was a pretty hard moment for me.
Yeah, so it seemed these few months have been very rough for you. And okay, so talk to me, how are you feeling right now?
Like right now in this moment, I think that I am searching right now for hope and something to get better, because I know that I have to live by my own and deal with myself. But I am also kind of scared because I don't know how this is going to go and work in the future. So I'm also kind of sad because of all how has been this process. But now I'm not that sad as I was in the weekend, last weekend.
What does better mean to you? How would you like to feel?
I would like to feel as when I was young, maybe with hope, with this passion maybe for life that I think that I don't have right now. So maybe that's what I want to feel. I don't know. Also happiness, but I want to feel that joy maybe again.
Okay, so we will try to work on these things.
Okay.
And we will see.
Thank you.